In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a super popular design style for your next print-on-demand product 100% for free inside of Spark. What's up guys, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is Nate Hibbert and this is Wingman University, where our goal is to help you start and scale a print-on-demand business. Today, as I was designing for our print-on-demand business, I had a design come across my desk that was of a very popular layout, which is kind of the thank you bag layout. At least that's the way that I reference it. I've used this design layout for lots of different things, for lots of different projects, and I'm seeing it all over the place. Currently, it's very popular now, and I already have it set up inside of Photoshop where I can go in and just drag and drop new sayings, and it kind of makes this design on its own. It's very quick, it's very easy, but I thought I'd challenge myself today to use Spark, which is a free tool. It's not Photoshop, and it's a lot simpler to use than something like Photoshop. So I thought I'd show you guys today how you can recreate that design with whatever saying you want in it in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and jump into Spark. Right before we jump into Spark, I thought I'd actually take 2 seconds and show you guys this design. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. And so this is the design that I'm referencing. It's not the highest quality here on this shirt, but you can see that that's the design where it's thank you in bold here in the middle. And then on the top for 3 different rungs, there's thank you as an outline, and the same thing repeated there on the bottom. And then some little blurb of text down here on the right-hand side. And so the first place I saw this, and I think where this design originated on, it was like plastic bags that you get at restaurants or whatever, but this layout has been used so much recently, and lots of really big name brands are using it, and so I thought that I'd take a crack at showing you guys how to recreate this inside of Spark for whatever design that you would like. The example that I'll be using today is actually the happy camper category. I've been doing a lot of stuff with camping. I've been getting interested in camping myself lately. It seems like a good way to social distance myself, but that is something that I have been doing research on, making designs for, and really digging into this niche. And while I'm looking on this landing page, I'm not seeing anything quite like that design, but I do think the popularity of a layout like this paired with a niche that I know is very popular, which is camping, those two things paired together might work very well. And so we're going to do that inside of Spark today. And I already did some prep work here inside of Spark, so I got my artboard the way that I want it, and I have my text box open, just waiting for me to type in happy camper. So there we go. That's the first step, is to get your text actually imported on your artboard. Happy camper, I want to make that all one line, and I'm going to make that fairly close to the center because we're going to have a lot above this, but this design won't be too complicated, so it won't be hard to reorganize this whole thing if we need to. So I'll get happy camper here. I'm going to remove that shape on the background, and I'm going to pick my favorite text, which is BN regular. It's up towards the top here. I just think this is a nice, bold, clean, and simple font, so I'm going to make that a little bit bigger, and there we go. We've got our text imported. Now, what I should do is what I like to do all the time, and split screen my design or the inspiration that I'll be taking from the actual artboard while I'll be working. So I can split screen right here, these 2 different windows, zoom in on this thank you, so we can keep in mind how many different rungs there are and just the basic layout. It's pretty straightforward, but it's always nice to have something over here to the left to design off of. So we've got happy camper, and this is going to be pretty straightforward. We're not going to have to type this in a bunch. What we're going to do is go up here to this duplicate button, and then we're going to take this duplicate, and we'll start on the top half of this design. So I'm going to make sure that it lines up. This nice pink line in the middle there shows us that it's lining up, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between happy and camper, because I know when we make an outline, it's actually going to make this text a little bit bigger because it goes on the outside of what's currently there. So it's going to extend past this white box just a little bit, but again, if we look at our inspiration, we can see that these letters are touching, so that's our ultimate goal. That's where we want to get this, but before we do that, let's make sure that we actually have this outline and not just 2 text boxes next to each other that are completely filled in. And the way that we do that inside of Spark is really easily. You're going to click on your text here, you're going to come to this text effects tab, and we're going to go over here to outline. That's what we're looking for. So you can see that it added a outline around the text, and we can adjust the thickness of that with this slider in here, so that's nice. We probably don't want that too thick, but I'll leave it right about where it was at maybe 9 or 10. And what we're going to be looking at is this checkbox here that says transparent text. So if I click that, now the background is going to be whatever our background shirt is. And when we actually put this on a garment, it's going to print so there's nothing here. So it won't just be black to match the black background that we have. It will be no ink going there, so it'll just be completely see-through. And to show you guys that that actually worked, we can change our black background to something like this blue, and you can see the inside of these words are now blue. So whatever color we make this background, whatever product we print on, it's going to be see-through, so we're just going to have the outline, which is exactly how it is in this design. So that's awesome. And so now, like I said, it's extending a little bit past our white border or our guidelines there, rather. So I can bump that down with the arrow keys and make sure that it's touching. And I'm going to go ahead and change all the colors. I'll stick with the classic red for this example, but definitely feel free to experiment and change that up as you see fit. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to pick red, which is the top right-hand corner, and this thing all the way to the top. And I'm going to do the same thing for this happy camper. I'm going to go to text, and it should suggest that color. It does. So there we go. We're basically done with this design. Now we just need to duplicate this out a bunch more and make sure that the text are touching each other and the layout is the way we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this, drag it up just a little bit. Use my arrow keys to place that exactly where I want it, clicking off so I get rid of those guidelines and I can see how my alignment is going, but that's looking good. And it might be a little bit daunting to see Happy Camper 7 times on a shirt, so I think I'll just stick to 5, making it a little bit of an audible there. So I'm going to duplicate this and start working on the bottom of this design, which is to drag this over, again using my arrow keys to bump this in place and just clicking off whenever I think I've got it close to actually check how that is coming. Looks good. We can duplicate this out here on the bottom again and just do the same thing, step and repeat, and there we go. Again, just have to bump this in place a little bit. Using the mouse isn't 1000% accurate inside of Spark, so we can use those arrow keys to really bump that into place and exactly how we want it. So that's the basic idea of this design, completely finished. So a little tip, a new feature that they just added is if we go ahead and shift click each one of these boxes, we can actually group these things together now. So this is a new feature that they added, which makes our lives a lot easier when we want to move all these things. We can group them together and we can drag these exactly where we want them, and we can still edit these individually, which is really cool. I'm really happy with this change. And I didn't want to forget this little text box here down at the bottom, so I'm going to duplicate our bold text here. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I actually don't want this to be grouped. So I'm going to ungroup all of these things. I'm going to click on just the Happy Camper. And I don't want this to say Happy Camper again, so I'm going to change this out and still plays outside. That was a little dialogue from the last design I made. I think it fits with this as well. So still plays outside. We'll put this on the bottom right. So something just to tie this all together, give it a little bit more of a premium feel than just this design up here at the top. We're really staying true to that plastic bag layout that we have. We can change this up or improve upon this, or add to this however we see fit or whatever fits our design. But I think for a simple camping design that someone would like to wear, this would fit just that. So if you're watching this video, you really like what you're seeing, you're liking this tool called Spark, and you're inspired now to go take action, but you'd like to see things step by step, we have a course for you. So down in the description below, I have a step-by-step course on our website that's going to show you how to start from the very beginning, how to get your account for Spark, all the way to having confidence to be able to create designs just like this. So if you'd like to check that out, again, the link is down in the description below. But if you'd like to see more videos where I'm creating designs for our print-on-demand business, there's a playlist over here that you can click on. But until the next video, I will see you guys around.